The Poliquin Step Up is an exercise that I'll admit can look a little funky, but it's a part of your program for good reason. So let's explore why this lift is such an important one. With the Poliquin Step Up, the working leg is elevated with a plate or riser, and that same heel is elevated even higher. You bend the knee slightly to allow the non-working foot to tap the ground, and then extend the working leg. It's a very short range of motion, which is why we do a bunch of reps with this one, upwards of 25. Ordinarily, we're all for full, deep ranges of motion, so you might wonder, why are we deliberately moving in such a short range with this one? And it has to do with the muscles that we're trying to target with this lift. If you're doing these correctly, you should feel a pretty intense burn in your quad just above and to the inside of your kneecap. That's the vastus medialis oblique, or VMO for short. This teardrop-shaped muscle is one head of the quadriceps, and it's largely responsible for proper knee tracking while the joint is flexed. If this muscle is underpowered, it's very unlikely that your knees will behave the way we need them to during any action or lift when you extend your legs. How this often manifests in the gym is what's known as a valgus knee fault, where your knees fold inward as you stand up, say during a squat. If this is happening to any significant degree, it needs to be addressed. Inward rotation of the femur like this is how certain knee injuries, particularly ACL tears, can happen. A strong VMO keeps your knees healthy. Now, here's the thing about the VMO. It's most active during the first 15 degrees of knee flexion and the bottom 15 degrees of knee flexion. Or in other words, it works the hardest when your knee is bent all the way and when it's bent only a little bit. That brings us back to the Poliquin Step Up. Since the VMO is very active during the top 15 degrees or so of knee bend, the best way to target this trouble spot is with a shorter range, just like you see here. If you go much deeper, then other muscles start to do more of the work and the VMO does less. They may not look like much, but as you get the balance component down, these should burn like crazy, right in that spot above and slightly to the inside of your kneecap. By including these in a program, we're shoring up some of the potential problem areas before layering on the bigger, more intense lifts. This may be a bit odd, but they go a long way to keeping your knees stable and healthy.